Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. We are going to continue our Mr. Terupt read aloud. We are on page 67, but we're entering into October. So, as we know, the author does organize this book in a unique way. He organizes it by character perspective along with the months of the school year. So we kind of know where the kids are and at what point of the year. So here we go. Luke. I was the first one to submit a formal Westing Games solution. I remember the morning I figured it out. I was up early reading what Mr. Terupt had assigned when all of a sudden some of the author's clues came together for me. And bam! I had it. I ran into Mom and Dad's bedroom to celebrate. I've got it, I've solved it. I danced and jumped around while they burrowed under the covers, trying to sleep. Good, great, Luke, Dad said from under the blankets. We're proud of you, honey, Mom said, peeking out at me. Now let us sleep some more, Dad added. He moaned and turned over. I sat down at the kitchen table and wrote up my conclusion. I stuffed it in an envelope, sealed it, and signed my name across the back. Detective Luke. I couldn't wait to get to school that morning. I ran into our classroom and handed Mr. Terupt the envelope. Everyone was shocked. You've solved it already, Mr. Terupt said, standing up from his chair, his eyes bugged out and eyebrows raised. He still hadn't turned in a solution. Suddenly he wobbled a bit. He grabbed his desk and closed his eyes for a moment. Stood up too fast, he said, after regaining his balance. Then he moved on like nothing had happened. I'm impressed, especially since I'm not even close to a solution, Mr. Terupt admitted. But we still don't know if you're right. Oh, I'm right, I said. I only know of one person who's ever cracked this case before the author reveals the truth. So if you're right, you'll join special company, Mr. Terupt said. I'm right, I said. Observation. Mr. Terupt just had 2 dizzy spells. Dizzy spells are when you get up, but yet you have no balance and your head's spinning. Question. Who's the one person that cracked the cake? And is Mr. Terupt okay? Detective Luke. Remember, he was in a coma not too long ago, and I don't have a text-to-self connection there. However, I do have text-to-world connections, and I know that when people recover from those, they're not quite the same right away. All right, Peter. I read the Westing game, but never handed in a solution. It was part of my plan to have Mr. T fail me. But I wanted to read the book because I didn't want to miss out. I liked it a lot, but it's not the story I remember most. I read that. It's the drama around the book that stuck with me, like the day Mr. T turned in his solution. Mr. T loved to scare the snot out of us whenever we were busy doing something. One time we were taking a time test and he yelled out, "Time!" after the 45 minutes were up. A few of us were so rattled we accidentally threw our pencils. Ben banged his legs on the underside of his desk. He jumped so bad. Mr. T laughed his head off and we laughed with him. So it shouldn't have been a surprise that he made his Westing game announcement during silent reading time. It was so quiet you definitely know where a fart came from if someone were to let one go, unless, of course, you were the evil Lexi. Remember that in the beginning? Oh boy. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Mr. T shouted, "That's it! He successfully scared the snot out of us again." "You might as well call it quits," he announced. "I've got my solution right here, and there's no way I'm going to lose. I've solved it." "Too bad Luke's already turned his in," I said. "Looks like you'll have to settle for second place." Luke didn't say anything, but Mr. T made a grand production out of adding his envelope to the submission box. He flew it up and down like an airplane, sound effects included, before spinning around and slam-dunking it home. We were supposed to go back to silent reading. I tried, but it was hard to settle down after Mr. T got us riled up like that. He made everything loads of fun. All right, boys and girls, we're going to stop there today. We're on page 71. and tomorrow will be a few 2 to 3 more chapters of that. We have a Zoom call in 7 minutes now, so I don't want to be late for that. I really hope that you're enjoying Mr. Terupt. It's a really nice way to, I was thinking about this, how, we don't have the books in front of us, which it's pretty sunny out here, which is sad, but at the same time, there's a lot of different domains to learning. When I say that, I mean like types of learning. So one of them is being able to read something, but it's just as important to be able to listen to something and still understand it and be able to follow along. And that's a really hard skill. That's harder than actually having the print in front of you to follow along with. So this is really working on our listening skills, and I think that's a really nice thing to practice. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling now. I miss all of you. Sitting here outside on my porch enjoying the sun and my morning coffee. Wish we were all together. But we will be in 6 minutes through Zoom. So I will see you then, and I hope you have a wonderful day.